Selectmen meeting, June 11th to order. Full Board of Selectmen present here. Town administrators present. Lee Martell will be recording for the benefit of the public citizens, and Linda Nickerson is gonna upload the videos to YouTube. Thank you, Lee. First thing we're gonna do is look at old business. I've got meeting minutes, the regular board meeting minutes in front of me here.
Yep, I'm gonna make a motion to approve the minutes of the May 28th regular meeting as amended.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the non-public, meeting on May 28th as amended.
Motion's been made
I'll second that too.
and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that takes care of the old meeting minutes, old business. And, now I'd like to open up for public comment if somebody's not on the agenda and they have something. Lee?
Yep, Lee Martell, you might wanna know, I went up the road yesterday and it looked like they were working on those water bars.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and I didn't go by today to see how they did, but,
I actually didn't expect them to get going on that.
yep, they were out there with some equipment,
Awesome, that sounds good.
so I thought I'd let you know, since how you were talking to them.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad to see we didn't have to follow up too bad. So
Yeah, right.
I'll take a ride by and check it out someday next week. Don, you have anything for,
Well, the Baines Garden, project is complete.
just for the
Huh?
record? For the record, could you put your
Oh,
name?
Don Larson, 32 Brookview Cemetery trustee. And, it's complete, and I posted some pictures on the Dunbarton page.
Yeah,
And I got people gonna be at the July 7th meeting to, find their place, including one group that live on a road, real close here.
yeah,
And they wanna be neighbors forever, so they're gonna,
oh, wow,
run a strip.
wow, that's kinda neat.
Yeah, so,
Nice, nice. I see the mowing get done over here presently.
yep,
And, you got some seats too being put in by the Cremains Gardens?
someone, yeah, benches.
Benches, right?
Yeah, I got 5 benches there.
They're in already?
Oh, yeah, I put them, Bob, Lamarck and myself put them in Thursday,
Okay, great.
so.
I
Yeah.
seen the invoicing.
And
from
two
that.
of them are sold,
Oh, nice.
yeah, and, the whole thing is if they're buried in, or have a plot, they can buy a bench. So,
Nice. Okay, anything else?
that's it, I think Old Home Day's on the committee, on the
Yeah.
docket here, so.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, that being said, we'll close the public comment section. And we'll go to new town business, and we've got, some donations here. It looks like, we need to accept some donations for the Cremains Gardens that Don was just speaking about with bench engraving.
I'll start the first one.
Yep.
I'd like to make a motion for RSA 31:95-B, paragraph Roman number 3B, to accept the donation in the amount of $1,080 from Cheryl and Donald Hurd to pay for the Remains Garden bench with engraving.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Alright. Okay, great, those benches do look great, we've got a picture here of them, Don, and we've got a copy of those checks, right, Lean, so we're all set there. And the next motion, Mike?
Per RSA 31:95-B, paragraph Roman numeral 3B, to accept the donation in the amount of $1,070 from Tanya Omen to pay for the Cremains bench with engraving.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That's it on those benches. Thank you very much, Don, for all the work on that, and thank these people for buying those benches for the board.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got another donation, Mike. And Lean, you have two $25 checks,
That's correct.
so Mike, you wanna start that?
For RSA 31:95-B, paragraph Roman numeral 3B, to accept a donation of $50 from the collection of vendor fees for additional Old Home Day expenses.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, that sounds good, that takes care of all of the donations, we thank the people for those, and, now, we're gonna skip the Old Home Day Committee member update, only because we're waiting for one more member to come in. So we're gonna go slightly out of order on the agenda. And, why don't we go right to the next item on here, which is signing the contract for the, repairs on the town hall / library roof.
As I understand, there's just an updated contract number.
That's correct, they updated the contract that we had previously signed, and Lean and I went through all of the items on here, and they're all duplicate items, just on an updated contract.
So it was basically, it was a 2007 version, this is a 2017 version, which is the most current, format of that, was it AIA contract?
Okay.
Yeah. And I did get confirmation from the, president that they will be scheduling a pre-construction meeting sometime next week, which Dave will be participating in, and then Jeff Trexler's confirmed that he will be there.
Just one signature, Dave?
That's all that's required.
Excellent, thank you.
That's for the contract.
Contractor signed that back
Yep.
one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we've taken care of that contract, and, just in case people, were wondering on that, I think we've already announced it, but there's a June 22nd start, I believe, Lean?
Yep,
And, mid-July finish, so I think it's July 16th maybe. So they're going very fast on this, and people have been very professional getting back to us with the contracts and insurances and liability insurances and whatnot. And
and I did get the steel, information that Jeff Trexler signed off on.
okay, he did
So I
sign
have
off
the
on
whole
it, good.
file together, yep.
So it's been going right along, we're gonna have a pre-construction meeting that I'm gonna try to attend with Jeff. And, that looks like it's going good. It looks like the dogs in town are in trouble again. And the next thing on the agenda is a warrant to issue civil forfeitures, for unlicensed dogs. So I guess we've gotta sign a couple of these versions to have on file.
A lot of dogs?
It feels like a pretty thick pack to start with.
Just a few hundred, it looks like. They said they must have thought they were exempt because of COVID.
Maybe we'll sign them all, we'll hand them all back to Bob.
Yeah. Just 3 signatures, Bob.
The next thing will take a little discussion, so I think we'll do this, and that might tie up some time until we have these next items on the agenda. Governor Sununu, you might have seen on TV today announcing some additional openings in the state and different actions. Lean has printed out the WMUR version of that. I have not had time to read through it, although
Jesus.
I wanted to open it up to the board and the public to general discussion on timelines of opening up different stuff in the town. And I'm glad Woody's here in front of us, the transfer station supervisor, so we can discuss, maybe bringing some additional recycling items and get your ideas on that. And whether or not we open up the town hall, towards the 15th or towards the end of the month, as far as, loosening up some of the restrictions and see what restrictions we keep in place, so I guess, I'll start with opening up to you, Mike, if you put any thought into any of the departments.
Well, the thing is, I was looking at the transfer station today, Woody's already started an incremental, additional recycling, for example, paper is being recycled this week, regular paper, in addition to the cardboard. And, I was hearing from the public, there are pros and cons, I mean, I got one group of people, or they hate waiting in line, and then they have 2 little bags of trash, and they can't see why, they can't walk over and just dump 2 little bags of trash without getting everyone else angry at them. You got the other group of people who say, you're in my space.
Right.
I think, I asked Woody this week to come up with some recommendations, to bring to the board here, but I'm ready to continue this phased approach. I think it's been working well, and I think he's got some ideas how he wants to phase things in. Woody, you got the floor, I'm gonna give you the floor.
So pretty much, some of the things that we have changed down there, as far as the traffic pattern issues. You know, taking into consideration dumping 2 people at a time, we've done it, when it's busy,
Yeah,
we move one to the front of the building, they have access to the garage door. The employees, you know, I check with them ahead of time, hey, is it okay? Yep, they're okay with the people going through their space area. And then we have a car come under the cover. You know, when it's busy, you're not gonna dump any more than 2 cars at a time anyways.
Right.
You know, we're dumping them as fast as we can, with the exception of us grabbing their material.
and we've never had 2 lanes before, so that should be a help as well.
Right, you know, so we're dumping, you know,
Right.
the people are coming in, the wait times aren't as long. One thing we are seeing, and I will be addressing it Saturday morning with the staff, one of the issues is the person who's checking the cars as they come in and trying to help direct them, which I know this may not make sense to have someone standing there, but it does. Because it actually directs the people, all right, you go here, and starts loading the lanes. You know, every other car a different lane, and that way when they get to the other end, the every other car works, you know, and then also directing the recycling people. And then if you have brush, and there's, you know, people dumping, they direct them up the middle lane and explain to them that they can cut across, cause we have a merge section there. And they can cut across, go down to the burn pile, dump your stuff. If you have trash, don't worry about it. There's a cart, we've placed a cart right there, throw your trash in the cart, go up the back road, so cause there's no way to get from the burn pile back in line. So it, you know, I mean, it's, like Mike and I talked, you're not gonna please everybody, you're not gonna make everybody happy.
Yeah.
My thought process, and you can, you know, go however which way you're thinking, but I'm thinking, we're gonna run paper for a couple weeks, get the bulk of the material in. And then, you know, things sound like I don't watch the news, so it sounds like things are moving forward with COVID-19 and restrictions from what you said. Probably around the 23rd, start accepting plastic, let it run for a couple weeks.
Okay,
And at that point, if you know, I think we should meet again at the next meeting, you know, after the 23rd, so whatever that would be, like the
Yeah.
2nd week of July, and determine if it's, at that point, it's okay to pull the cones.
and what about, accepting money?
Well, this is where I'm going, cause at that point, we're gonna have to, we're gonna have to make a change here. We pull the cones, then I have no problems accepting the things that we charge for. Up until that point, the problem is, the way we're doing it right now
The
is,
lanes are all full.
the lanes are full, and when it comes to lunchtime, we're maxed with staff. So to pull someone else that I don't have to write slips, cause we're gonna get bombarded with slips.
Have your hours been, fairly steady? Right now, they're not increased over last year's, or I mean the day-to-day hours, like a Saturday, you normally had that amount of people on anyway.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we had and sometimes during the week, we've kinda, depending on how the week's going, if, you know, we got a lot of things to do, I'll bring in someone extra. You know, I'm trying to give guys time, they want time off, I'm trying to give it to them. So I'm trying to please everybody, it's not necessarily working. On the other side of the coin is, I'm getting ready to take time off. So we're trying to mesh this ball of stuff together and make everything happen and everything work.
When is your projected time off?
I'm gonna try for some point like the end of July, end
Okay.
of June, 1st of July.
Are you gonna have Eddie be your supervisor?
Well, it's
in
something we
place,
need to
or-
talk about. We
Okay.
need to, at this point, we need to come up with, and I think we should, look in-house first. I think we need to, make an official, someone an official capacity can do make them a foreman. We have it in there as
On
a,
that, yeah, we did that job on the 25th, why don't we bring that discussion up, so
Yeah.
not for tonight, but.
yeah, no, but just something for you to
Yeah.
think about.
Why
That
don't we
we
plan
need
on that
to,
for the 25th then?
we need to do something with that.
You have some people in mind, right?
Well, we have what we have in staff and
Right.
in-house, and, I think we should do, they should go through the application process, so it keeps everything fair across the board.
Okay.
Because it's not gonna be a 5 minute, you're gonna have to train them. You know what I mean, there's things that not all of them know. In this vacation that I'm taking, I'm gonna be home pretty much. So my thought is, I'm just gonna come in, I'll run the loads of trash, we don't have to worry about that. And then that'll give me time between that vacation and my next one to get this person up to speed where they'll be able to, hey, you're gonna have to coordinate the loads coming in, you're gonna have to coordinate the loads going out, and, bring them up to speed. But I think we need to make that
So you're gonna have to talk to your crew then, and see
Yeah.
who, the interest, gauge the interest.
and have them fill out an application and do it just like you normally would do, and pick someone from it
And
and
you
go
have
for it.
another application you and Bob are gonna review, I think, right? Bob, you're still the
I thought,
transfers, you are,
I
so you'll
think he
review that
stepped
with
in,
Woody?
so.
Okay.
So, and that's kind of my plan, and like I said, in the middle part of July, if you're good with pulling the cones down and open it back up to pretty much normal business, then that's the way we're gonna roll. I would, however, like to try and keep doing the way we're doing it at the recycling,
Yeah, I
Self-
don't,
like you-
Self-recycling.
right? I
I
think
don't have
that's,
any problem with that, I think that, like you said, why don't you try and do the opening up on your Tuesday of the 23rd on the
Yeah.
plastic?
right,
And then we'll look at doing the 30th possibly for the money and of taking the cones and opening up everything.
that's a short week. I'd like to run the plastic for a couple weeks,
Okay, so.
because we're gonna get
So maybe the
bombarded
first
with it.
full week
So-
in July, the next week on that.
Yeah, it'd be like, I think I had the date written down here, and
First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
so it'd probably be like run that till then, and then we have a selectmen's meeting on the 9th, correct? It'd be the second Thursday.
Yeah, I was thinking if we could maybe try and open it on the 6th, only so you're not opening it on a Saturday.
No, no, what I'm saying is, usually what we've been doing is we talk about it on the selectmen's meeting before, and open it on that following Tuesday. So we start out on a Tuesday and not on a Saturday.
Right, that's
So
what
that
I
would
was,
actually be,
I'd be talking about it on the 25th and doing it on the
so it'd be July,
6th, right?
The 7th, well, yeah, we open the 7th, the Tuesday.
so you'd actually open it on July 14th. You talk about on the 9th, you get to go ahead to pull the cones and everything, and on the 14th, open it up.
I was trying to do it closer to the end of the month instead of the middle of July.
How it's not gonna happen. We're gonna be so
When are you on
bombarded.
vacation?
I'm gonna be going on
First week
vacation.
of July.
It's probably gonna
Oh,
be
okay.
right in that,
Well, we don't wanna do it when you're gone.
right, and it'd be awful lot for one new person to kinda
I'll
bombard.
wait till you get back then.
And the people have been asking, and I've been telling them 3 to 4 weeks, but which puts it right in that time frame. Just going off what we had discussed before, spacing things out, and giving a couple weeks in between each
I
product.
think, you could prep the public by doing another message on the town
What
website.
about charging for demo before that? Any,
I would just, at this point, I would just keep running the way we are. We're only talking a couple more weeks now. We've already gone several months. Just go a few more weeks and then move it back in as business as normal.
So we're targeting, July 14th is the goal, like almost back to normal.
Yeah.
But keeping the idea of, the modification of self-recycling.
Getting beyond your department now, let's talk on the town hall's end of it. I just spoke with Judy quickly, I talked with Lean a little bit earlier. I was thinking about phasing that in as well, and, maybe for the end of this month, opening up the doors like regular, but maybe having tape on there, keeping the 6-foot distances. Maybe we could require masks if you guys wanted to.
Yeah, I think it still would be prudent to require masks.
Yeah, So we'll allow them in the building, but require a mask, and then do the 6 foot spacing. Now, we'll
Yeah,
have to do,
I think it's unreasonable to ask the public to come to this building and wear a mask, to insist they wear a mask, when we come in right now and no one is wearing a mask. Either do it all or none. I think it should be, I'd rather have it highly recommended you wear a mask, but not make it mandatory.
he does have a point there.
Yeah,
I know
the
I
thing
can't
is,
speak at a meeting with a mask on, we just can't do all that talking.
Agreed, and I think it's,
the thing is, our meetings are limited and the number of people into the building are limited as to how many we have
Right,
in
cause
here.
we can
And
limit.
when we
the people
open
at the
it up,
counter.
There, you have no idea how many people are coming in, and I don't think having some masks is a hindrance to anyone, and it's a protection to everyone else if someone's wearing a mask,
it's true, it's true.
you know, so I don't know,
Would
but
we
I
have masks
think, I don't see a problem with
That's
the
the other
mask.
thing. Did we get masks for your department?
Yeah, we've
All you
gone,
need,
I'm on my second box of 50 now. I'm getting ready to do another. I would talk with Sergeant Remillard, that's I got him through last time.
okay.
Would we provide masks for people who don't have them when they come in here?
Well, you know what, if you go
You
to
know, like Johnstown
businesses,
Hardware, you can't enter unless
that's
you
what I
have
was
a
gonna
mask.
tell you,
But
No
market
mask,
masks,
no
market masks,
service.
they give you a mask if you want a mask.
well, you know, maybe post it, no mask, no service on the door, because they're
Well,
not that expensive, it isn't gonna kill
Understood,
anyone
Understood.
to have them, and you know, we don't know what direction this is going in. You know, you're looking at the states that have opened up now that their cases are spiking. So, we don't wanna fall into the same thing. If we get
I just
comfortable.
don't wanna feel like, to the point where, people come in here, and then like, some contractors come in to see Donna, or the town employees come in, and they don't wear masks, yet, why are you making me wear a mask, and say, Woody's coming up here to do his payrolls and paperwork, he's not wearing his mask, like, he hasn't been, but he maintains his distance, but I don't wanna create the inconsistency,
Right, but if, at this time where we're small groups in here,
yeah,
we haven't been wearing masks.
yeah.
If we open up that, I think we should be expected to do the same as anyone else.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I like to see, some
You know, so-
consistency.
So you're asking the staff here to wear a mask all day long, or when people are at the counter?
Visiting staff more than anything else, that's what I was more referring to.
I would think if your staff here had to do a face-to-face with them, then, but you know, typically, I know when I come in
Judy
here,
does now, she.
right, you know, I know like if I come in here and I have business with them, you know, Lean's at her desk and
Right, you maintain
say
your
Joe Marie's at her desk, well, they really shouldn't have to have masks, cause they're way over 6 feet apart from one another. But, for instance, if they had to come up and help the public and go beyond their window,
Throw a mask on.
maybe, yeah, throw a mask on, but, you know. And then, far as like us coming in, myself, masked up, come in.
I think if you're within that 6 foot range, and you need that mask. But beyond that, like we are now, you don't need it, but Leo has to.
Well, I think Bob's right. You know, you see on store doors, no shirts, no shoes, no service. So if I come in here wearing my mask, cause somebody else comes in and they don't wanna wear a mask, you're jeopardizing my safety. So it should be mandatory. I understand what Lean's saying, she's correct. She's working at the end of her desk, somebody comes in to talk, maybe now they have to put a mask on if they're gonna be face to face, but other than that, I think that people it should be mandatory to wear a mask if you wanna do business in the office.
Yeah.
Again, if I come in here, I'll be pretty
Again,
angry
you're coming
if I
in to
gotta.
be face to face.
Hmm?
Realistically, if you are coming in, you're coming in to be face to face with
Yeah, well,
somebody.
the other thing is people walk back and forth. You know what I'm saying? So the social distancing, especially in the hallway,
Yeah, it's
You know?
hard, you can't do it.
yeah, so, you know.
No, don't get me wrong, I'm not against it, I just wanna make sure we're consistent, because what I don't want you to
That's
do.
the point though,
is-
to
is
be
You
consistent.
gotta be consistent,
Yeah,
and that's the whole thing.
Now, the other thing is, we can kind of keep it somewhat like it is now, where it's open, but only one person at the counter at a time, so the other people, you know, even if we put lines outside, they can wait outside the door. When one person comes out, then they can come in. So, I mean, there's other things we can do to keep that social distance ourselves.
Agreed.
We do need to put some tape on the floor to keep the 6 foot spacing,
Yeah, get some yellow tape.
and, We do need to put lines outside, I think, or at least make them wait outside.
I concur with that, I have no problem.
But I know that they are getting electronic, registrations, electronic tax payments. So there are some people that are taking advantage of what we've set up.
Right, but you're gonna have some people that just feel better about going there, especially if they have a quick transaction.
I was thinking about, trying to do that opening, at the end of the month, closer to the
July
30th
first,
time.
like.
July 1st.
Yeah, I agree.
June
concur.
30th, July.
I concur, in fact, that would be,
That'll give us a little bit more time to think about it, because we'll have a meeting on the
Yeah.
25th, so
yeah,
that's my thought.
July first.
We'll know a little bit better how the other states are doing
Yeah,
and other towns are doing by that point too, I would think.
I concur, we can banter it a little bit more and come up with some specific plans
So
for the
we'll
next meeting.
implement your ideas as far as bringing the plastics in, and then we'll start that process, and it'll give us a little time to think about whether we're gonna provide any
Yep.
masks, or, I think most everybody has them at this point.
Well, the thing is that, again, if you want service, you gotta come with a mask and a subject.
And Lean, if you're beyond the 6-foot spacing,
Yeah.
working at your desk, you're
No,
not gonna work.
no, I understand.
No, but if you
And
gotta-
that sounds fair, if I
Yeah.
get up and I have to go face to face, just put the mask on, but I'll have to convey to the other staff that if they're gonna walk down the hall and there's someone at a
Grab your
counter,
mask.
grab your mask before you go
Because
down
the
the hall.
congested hallway, you gotta be
Yeah.
sensitive.
We don't have that many employees, there's only a handful of people to talk to, so.
Yeah, yeah. I do have one question about the transfer station. I am willing to get rid of my things and pay for them, but right now, we're still not taking mattresses in large bulk and stuff
They are
like that.
taking mattresses if you do take them apart yourself.
A mattress?
Actually, they're really easy.
It looks like you got another bruise on that.
Should've seen my
Slice
moving
them like a
tattoos I
banana.
had last week.
They're looking for some along the river in Concord.
So Lean, what they're saying is with the cone set up with the 3 lanes of traffic,
Mhm.
there's no room for people to back up, pull forward to unload refrigerators, unload.
Okay,
So they're taking demo items still,
But
and they're
if
taking trash, and they're doing recycling. And with the 3 lanes of traffic, there's not that freedom to unload like they normally do.
okay.
So, but in anticipation it'd be after like July 9th, when upon his return, he'd be opening it up full bore.
Right,
Okay,
and I would probably push that a little earlier if he wasn't going on vacation.
okay.
But I don't wanna do the money and all those transactions for the part-time help without him being there to supervise it, because the money thing is gonna be another thing, they're starting back up again, it's gonna be like brand new to them, it's gonna,
And the residents are gonna say, what do you mean I gotta pay?
We're finding that with recycling, with the guys actually starting to bail and stuff again, they almost retrain themselves, cause they haven't bailed for so long, like, how do we do this again?
okay, let's keep the meeting moving.
Okay.
We'll pull off that item for now, and go back on the agenda to the Old Home Day Committee. Did you have anything else for your department, or did you wanna stay till later for something else that you wanted to discuss with us?
Yeah, let me think about it.
Well, what we'd like to do is play some musical chairs.
Yeah, I'll play musical chairs, once I win.
John, come on up.
But you could go down to that end too if you want, Woody, whatever you wanna do.
Not near me.
Hold your breath.
John, come.
Well, actually, I was sort of waiting for Tom, but we can,
Oh, I thought I saw him come in, did I not see him?
That was Mark Lang.
Mark
Oh, I
Lang.
apologize.
so,
We're-
I can either get it rolling. I spoke to him right after I went outside, and he said he was just coming through Hillsborough, so.
Well, if you want, I'll go into the mailbox items, John, and we'll give him a few more minutes, okay?
Yeah, but go ahead and move up to the front.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
kinda close.
That's
You
all right.
can go second row back, whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Go ahead, Mark, you can, there's plenty of room for you in there.
Mailbox thing there?
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit the mailbox items. We have a request here from Ken Kerber to allow expansion of the Dunbarton Elementary School garden area. Short notice, but if you can, would allow the selectmen know of developing a joint action between the school board and the Dunbarton Garden Club as follows. The Dunbarton Garden Club is interested in facilitating an expansion of the garden area available to the Roots After School Garden Club. Currently, the garden area available to Roots does not allow each student to have their own garden space. This precludes a sense of ownership and outcome and complicates the teaching process since students have to wait their turn to access the current availability of space. The proposed solution is clear, an area to the west of the lower parking lot, so it's on the end of the parking lot. By removing 8 large pines and several deciduous trees, an estimated size of cleared area is approximately 100 by 100 feet. The work would be done by a combination of DGC members and professional tree service at no cost to the town. The school board has reviewed the project and supports the activity. For more detailed information, contact Ken Kerber. I will say that I like the fact that they don't wanna do it on the lawn, because I've only seen lawn taken over at the school, and then the gardens don't get followed up on, and it looks like we have lawn that's 2 feet long in certain areas.
Will they be removing those gardens in the front that they started?
I don't know if they will be, maybe we should ask Ken that, but,
Yeah.
I could maybe follow up on that with Ken, because I know parts of the building that makes it look like that it's,
It becomes an eyesore.
unfinished, yeah.
Right, as soon as school lets out, no maintenance during the summer.
I think it might take them a couple of years to get that soil where the pine doesn't have
It
it.
may make the landscaper happy,
Right.
right, most of once.
Yeah.
So, I don't have an issue
I
with
think
it
we can
personally.
give consensus now. Bob, do you?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
So,
You know, well, if it gets used or not, it's out of sight, out of mind, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's on the backside of the parking lot.
and a few little pines taken down that it could be striking distance of the school, I have no problem with that.
And I don't have any problem as long as they still have access to those trails that go out back there. So I think they still use those for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. You had something, Don?
Yeah, what they're doing, they're taking down 8 trees, and they got, tree service out of, Goffstown that has a big crane, and he picks the trees up and brings them out, because the septic system is right there also. And we're looking at possibly having the trees cut into boards somewhere, and then use those for the raised beds, and then we're gonna bring in several, 15, 20 yards of topsoil to fill them with.
Okay.
So,
The only concern I have is liability. Let's say damages to the school, is a company bringing in insured, and will we be insured for this project? That's my
The
concern.
company he's talking about, Goffstown, is insured.
Okay, that's my concern.
yeah, he just did Phil Kimball's, or Bob Ray's, I think it was Bob Ray's, took an ash tree out.
Is it being donated or actually paying for it? By
We're
the-
paying, it's $3,000, and that, for what we're doing, the initial thing.
Okay,
And it was $4,500 if he clears all the branches and everything, $3,000 if we take care of all the stuff, so we're gonna have a party down there, but we're going down Saturday morning at 9:30. If you wanna come down to the school, we'll show you the whole area that we're talking about, that we're going to take the trees out.
okay.
The one thing you might wanna think about is pine isn't gonna last very long with soil against it. It rots pretty quick.
Right. So anyway, we'll let them worry about that, I guess. I don't have any problem with the area that they wanna use, so I'll give
No, I don't
consensus to
either.
that as a select board.
Yeah, I think Dawn is speaking on behalf of the garden club.
Yeah,
And Lean, would you send them out an email from the select board stating that, or have no issue with it? Next item on here is an update from the Energy Committee, Dana Lavoy, as far as our solar panels. They went from 6.72, I believe it's megawatts, to 9.33 megawatts production, a 39% increase. Looks like it was much sunnier than normal in May, so that shows a good increase there and shows the usage. And we do have the 5 town buildings that we're using it on separated out now so that they can apply it to all of them. So that looks like it's working well, and it's good to have that update, and Dana's gonna do some follow-up on that for us. We have gotten a request from NPR News to see if there was any settlements for civil rights claims to our town. Lean has sent this over to the chief of police to see if there's been any action on that, and they can respond to this request to know. And,
They already have, that's what's flagged up there,
oh, it is flagged in the back now?
yeah,
I read the email earlier.
look at the top,
Okay,
Negative.
negative, or whatever, it said, been taken, responded to.
okay, great. So, I didn't think we had many in this town, but I guess they're probably looking for a program to do on their TV spot. Okay,
Dave?
Yep.
The energy Old Home Day is here if you wanna.
I seen them, but I think we'll finish up this, cause there's not
Okay.
much left on it.
Okay.
We got an update from Randy Olet. We have a group of volunteers in town willing to pick up groceries, prescriptions, and other needs and supplies for any town residents who is worried about going out of town due to current health reasons or concerns for their family's health related to the coronavirus. In this capacity, trying to help the town residents. Do not know if anybody might need such help, please let me know, feel free to have to contact me directly. Randy Olet is in the book. And, I guess this is enough. Lean, did we put this on Hot Topics?
That's what I gave him.
You could, yeah, he did CC the welfare director and the food pantry director. So those individuals who have the direct need for families, but I can do that.
We have an update here from Health Source regarding funds, refunds and distributions from them for our employees. Return of contributions. And a maximum increase on the dental plan, so. Are we sending this to all of the employees as well?
I think basically what they were saying in that is that they're going to offer a small one-time disbursement to the employees, which will probably get noticed infinitely. And
Okay.
then they also spoke on the holiday credits, which we do see regularly from them, so there's no action or no change as to how they're going to handle that, but they said they'd try to get that information to us before we work on our budget.
Mike, we have one appointment for the Old Home Day Committee, can you,
Sure.
do that one too?
Okay. We'd like to appoint Mark Lang of Dunbarton to the vacancy on the Dunbarton Old Home Day Committee.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Basically, we have to sign this, and Mark, you're here tonight. You have to go get sworn in with Linda during
Okay.
during the week. I would email her for a time, mutual convenience.
Okay. Okay. That's been taken, signed, thank you, Mark. Great to see volunteers come forward for these boards. I have an introduction letter here from David A. Croft. He is, running for election of Merrimack County Sheriff. He's got a letter here that will be part of the public record here, shows his experience, in the towns that surround us, and as a police chief, and, is looking for support from people within our town. I have an email here from Owen Harrington in reference to our folding chairs, at the school. The Bow School District has given us several new racks as well as chairs that are in much better condition than the chairs that we typically spread out down there for town meeting. Although he's keeping all of the chairs, he called me and asked me, because the new racks are so much nicer and they're double tiered and they fit in the closet there, if he could have the ability to get rid of the old racks and keep the newer racks that are much better and much more user-friendly. And I told him I didn't have an issue with it, but I'd bring it up tonight.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with it either.
The other ones with the long racks, remember when you push them in, he's got two shorter ones,
Yeah,
they store in the closet better, he fits many more chairs on them.
right.
And I told him, I said, I thought that, there'd be no issue with our board.
Only if the new chairs have had it.
Yeah. Okay, so he's all set with that.
I thought you used your wallet as padding.
Yeah, it's been pretty slim and empty lately.
We got an update on our bandstand, it looks like the week of July 6th, there'll be the repairs on our bandstand out here, the Vulcan Construction will be working on that, and we gotta thank Lee for staying on that a couple times last year, and Lean for sending out the email, so that'll be taken care of. I have an email here that was shared with the Board of Selectmen, expressing their appreciation for the efforts of Donna White from the chair of the zoning board of adjustments here in town, saying how well the meeting ran when they did the Zoom meeting, and the fact that she was working hard to get into that platform and make sure that the meeting went very well. It seemed to work good for them, and he just wanted to thank the town on her behalf, and say that he appreciated her hard work on that. Okay. The rest, I think we talked about, this one here we didn't. The library is, phasing in phase 1 and phase 2 of their COVID reopening, I guess. And I think they'll probably put this on the bulletin board, but they're phasing in how they're gonna open up, the library with different steps that they're gonna take, for the different phases. It doesn't look too complex here, but maybe we can put it on the, hot topics.
I'll ask her to send it to me electronically.
Okay,
Yes, and actually she sent it out to some people that received her emails also.
so that takes care of our mailbox items. And now we'll come back to the Old Home Day Committee, update, for August 15th or September 19th.
Do you have the little short meeting
We
summary
do.
that I gave you?
Yep.
Right here.
Dave was wondering why you didn't use a larger font.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody make big
For
font.
the record, Dave's font, our font.
oh, I'll be right back.
Yeah, this isn't gonna pass. Do you want me to read through your bullet points, or do you want to?
Since you have a copy and I gave mine to Tom, why don't you read through them? That's,
Okay,
this is all the detail from the meeting, I just
Okay.
summarized it there.
this is a summary of the Old Home Day Committee June 10th meeting. The first bullet point is working with a theme of getting together again after the isolation from stay at home. Second bullet point, still working on dates of August 15th or September 19th. Third bullet point, also considering possible event cancellation. Fourth bullet point, have contacted some vendors, exhibitors, music performers, but are holding off on contacting all formally and making final arrangements pending more input from the governor's report and town selectmen. And the fifth bullet point is considering how to arrange the commons layout for separation of public performers and all, as well as possibly supplying masks and disinfectants to exhibitors and the public, all pending regulations in effect at the time of the event. Okay, so those are your bullet points. Where do you guys wanna start off?
Well, We wanted to get the selectmen's thoughts and feelings about choices and whatnot, and I also mentioned the governor's in there. And about an hour and a half ago, he came out and said that the date is June 29th for lifting,
The stay-at-home order,
yeah.
or stay-in-place
No,
order.
and no restrictions on groups, gatherings.
So no 10 people
Correct.
maximum gatherings.
Right. But this is a thing that you cannot predict absolutely, right? So it is everybody's best informed feelings.
There's also the choice that if you do have it and people don't wanna come, they don't have to come either, if they feel that strongly about it.
Exactly.
More ice cream for us.
Yeah.
I like that gentleman's offer, that's good.
I know if I'm giving out ice cream this year, I'm gonna be wearing a mask.
And Mark had an idea of have 3 or 4 lines. One line is for vanilla, one line is for chocolate, one line is for, so people aren't having to run back.
Yeah, but if they're all 6 feet apart,
Yeah,
that'll be all the way down the wrist.
that way we get to reach everybody.
By the time the last guy gets a scoop,
Yeah.
the first guy's gonna be hungry again.
I think is I want the dibs on giving my flavor of ice cream though.
Yeah.
I think that by the time this comes around, especially for the September date, you know, it'll start being cooler off by then, and, it'll be far enough down the line that we should see at that point where the COVID has taken
Right.
the town and or surrounding communities, so we would have a better idea. I'd hate to have to cancel it once it's scheduled, but if there's a huge spike, as Bob has brought
Right.
up, you might have to do that.
You know, until they open up to people, and they see what direction this is going in, you know, cause you're finding, I mean, even the small events like the powwow in Warner, you know, at the Indian places canceled for this year, so, you know, taking a prudent step and assessing it, you know, to see how this open thing is gonna work, cause, you know, you don't wanna see it spike up again, and then we're staying home again for a few months.
Right.
But if nothing happens, I think, like Dave said, looking at, in my opinion, looking at the September 19th might be a lot better than looking at August 15th, you know?
Now, we as a board like to kind of hold it back on our, I guess our view of it until we hear what you guys came up with as a board. Did you guys come up with, other than these 2 dates, did you guys come up with whether you wanted to do it or not do it?
That is the third option, and I think I mentioned that there, that.
Well, I see the option, but what was your board's consensus?
Consensus, yeah.
Did you guys take a vote on it?
We discussed it, there were a couple of opinions split between August and September. But basically, we did not wanna make a really final decision until we had more information from the governor's thing and also from,
Yeah, which the governor's thing just happened today, and
Exactly.
he'll do another one closer to the end of the month, so we'll have a better idea then.
Yeah, so our plan was to get the governor's information, and then also you who have a responsibility to the town and whatnot, right? Before, and then meet early next week to put all that together and decide whether it's the 15th or the 19th or cancel.
I think, like Bob said, I think that the September 19th will start being a little cooler, and we'll have a, you know, June, July, and August to make a judgment from. I'm thinking that month probably would be the better month to have it in. What's your thought, Mike?
Again, I like to wait and see. The only problem is,
Sooner or later, they'll
I'm-
get a
I'm-
hard date.
Yeah, I think the fact that the firmer we can get a date, I think would be better for those vendors and planners and all alike. Having it too soon in August might be, we might be just the start of the second wave. in
Well,
August.
that's, yeah, you know, you're
Better to
looking
have a
at
firm date.
You're looking at 22 states opened up for everything. 21 states now, out of the 22, are seeing an increase in the spikes again. So till we open it up and see what direction our state's going in, it's kind of hard to guess that without it being opened up. You might have a better awareness at the end of June, end of July, but that brings you close to August, which if it's bad or whatever, it's hard to make a move. That's why,
So what I'm hearing from the board is, the September date, you could almost hold as a more hard date than if you took August and say, oh, we might have to push you guys off because we won't have enough information by that time.
The thing is, I think you gotta be fair to vendors and then your logistics of it too. Again, if you order the stuff early, then we say, oh, you can't do it August, it's too dangerous. Then you're stuck holding the bag with all the logistics of all your supplies and food and all that kind of stuff.
and the other thing is you're not gonna have to worry about the competition from the state fairs, because they've already canceled,
Right.
except for the Deerfield Fair.
There's a
I heard Deerfield had canceled.
Did they finally cancel?
I
Yeah,
haven't
first time in
officially heard it,
105
but I
years.
heard through the grapevine that it's the first
Okay.
time since like World
This
War
last-
One that they.
Last week, they talked about having that fair, but Hopkinton Fair canceled, Cornish Fair, and Sandwich Fair canceled, so most of the fairs canceled, you don't have that competition.
Right.
They just canceled a powwow at the Sergeant Museum in Warner,
Oh, okay.
and so that's not gonna happen, so people, if things go right, people are gonna be looking for a place to go and do something.
comment last.
Yeah.
A couple parts of the discussion that we had, dealt with this possibility
Tom,
of second wave.
for this, can you say your name?
Oh, yeah, Tom Casano. And we weren't sure that September was better than August simply because if there is a second wave, it could peak in September. That it actually might be less on August 19th. Some other factors we were weighing in was that when we've had vendors every year on the same date, they set that date aside for us. And not so much vendors, but a lot of craftspeople that Ken Carver's working very hard with to get lined up. And we've got some very neat, craftspeople that come in. Have set that time aside, and if we change that now or later, we may lose those people that we.
What time are you giving, so are you saying you've given out the August 15th date already?
We have,
Is that the date it's normally on?
yeah, preliminary, we told them we were going with the August date, to be confirmed. We haven't sent any final letters out saying that the event is on or anything, so it's still pliable.
I guess we have to come to a drop dead date where we have to make a decision. A no-go or a no-go for
Well, it's not really up to us, so it's.
No,
up
no,
to
but
Yeah.
as a consensus, as a community.
Right, and that to an extent, the vendors, the exhibitors, performers, music and whatnot, need to have at least a couple of months worth of notice ahead, so, if it's the middle of August, we have to get into contact with them by
July
well,
A month
two
before.
months,
In the next week or two.
yes.
The other thing that's a factor with the dates that we had planned, and it's one of the activities we are hoping to incorporate into it would be a little bit of the graduation ceremony for the sixth graders that are now going to Bow. It could be done on Old Home Day. If we did it in August, it's still kind of like they haven't started, the other school yet. If you do it in September, it's kind of like, well, we're already in school. The graduation ceremony is kind of past tense.
That's bringing a lot more people into the fold though.
It would bring more people to the fold, but I don't know how many kids had actually graduated. Somebody told me, I forgot already.
15 or 20 maybe.
Yeah, so it wasn't a huge, a big number. The other thing that we discussed was a couple things. One is to try to keep it a little more town-oriented. You know, we've done some advertising in the past to bring, you know, surrounding communities into Old Home Day. So we're thinking, well, we think we'd have a big enough crowd just from Dunbarton that we would not exclude other people, but not make any effort to advertise it out to other people.
Like Concord and Manchester.
I love your theme, your theme is spot on.
Yeah, and,
Do you guys normally go to other Manchester and Concord to try and pull people in?
well, we publicize it, and some of the publicity we use, you know, does the surrounding areas.
Like Eventbrite, the Concord Monitor, Union Leader, and a couple of other places are spread out all over the place.
Leo's been waiting patiently back there, so.
So, what I hear is if it peaks in September, it's not a good time, but if it peaks in September, then probably not doing so well in mid-August either. The other thing is, as far as the vendors, chances are, this is a totally different time. Those vendors, I just heard that all of the fairs are canceled, various things are canceled now. So, and I'm not saying they will be available, but there's a better chance that they will be available in September, So,
But the thing is, in this year's theme, of just coming together again, it doesn't have to be about the vendors. It could just be, hey, we're coming out having a cookout, we're having a barbecue,
okay.
and having a
I guess
hamburger, and.
I'm not trying to make a point of the vendors, I'm
No.
just saying as an example, the vendors that everyone's worried about,
No.
they may still be there.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
they're probably gonna be looking for someplace to go anyways, and some of them may not even wanna be out there.
Right, and so I don't really care as much as the vendors as I do about the town folks. And the thing is, having something centered on the town folk is perfect.
Yeah, the vendors have just found money, you know, it's
Right,
$25.
it's a nice gathering, but if we don't have them, if you had a food event with ice cream and
Pie throwing
and a few
contest.
activities, pie throwing contests.
High eating contest.
I just wanna add that,
Dunking booth.
if this was a known disease,
Yeah,
then you could make plans. It's an unknown disease, it's not like a flu. It could be that you have it every month, depending on, the connection you have.
I think there will be
With
a
the
certain amount of
social-
cases every
Yeah,
month.
so my concern is we haven't experienced the part where we've been sheltered, like they are in California, where all they can do is walk around, the stores are barely open except for grocery stores, I mean, we don't know what it's gonna be like in New Hampshire when we open everything up. And so, do we take a step back? So, I don't know, you guys have to make a decision yourselves as to what you wanna do, but I think that doing it in August is awfully close to, if it spikes in July, again, cause things are opened up, or early August, you're letting everybody know is, hey, we won't be able to do it, so. There's no guarantee, I know, but.
In my thinking, which was two pieces, and I listened to both pieces, August has worked out better because of the climate, the warmth, and all the other stuff, and they aren't in school and all that kind of stuff, and it's warmer out, and
Yeah, people might not want ice cream in September if it's a cold day.
and it's
Oh, it depends. It's warm enough.
and it's more comfortable. That's what speaks towards the August date. But if the August date is going to have a lot of, a higher chance of being dangerous, then, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll leave that up to your board to decide.
There are a lot of county fairs open in September and they make good money too, so, it's just.
But a lot of those are canceled.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Highland
Okay.
Games have been canceled,
All right.
I mean.
Tom?
The other thing we had, kind of an extensive discussion about was the date is kind of one thing, but the safety of how we put on the program is more important than actually the date. If you take, if you go by the standard of Home Depot, Lowe's, and grocery stores right now, then, that sets the bar very low, because you go to these places now and it's like nothing's going on. Other than the little plastic shield, you know, at the cashiers, everything else is pretty much the state, always the way it has been. So we think it needs to be better than that, and that's why we were talking about if we had exhibitors, craftspeople there, that they, you know, that we would give them the protocol, how much they would disinfect things, how they would treat things. Just as simple as if you've got a craft booth where kids are, you know, using tools and hammers, one person puts it down, it's gotta be disinfected before the next person picks it up. We can't require that they wear masks, you know, but we can have masks available and, you know, try to encourage people to wear the mask. We can set it up, we can do everything possible with signage and every, you know, that we can to make it a safe event, which I think will carry more weight than anything else we do, for the whole celebration. Because even if somebody there, you know, it has COVID-19, is contagious, if you keep that person contained properly outdoors, the incidence of transmission is extremely low.
But let me ask you this, like, let's just take a line, your hamburger, hot dog line.
Yep.
How are you guys planning on keeping 6-foot spacing between the family groups? Cause obviously, you could stand with your own kids, you're with them every day anyway,
Yep.
so it's really family groups we're looking at. Are you gonna put ropes on the ground and
Yeah,
pack
I
them
mean,
down, or how?
we haven't got into the exact detail of it, but if, you know, whatever we can come up with that'll work, whether it's, the old zigzag line that you get at Disneyland or something
Well, I don't
like
think
that.
we wanna spray bomb the entire lawn either for
Yeah,
a month.
and I think the people, if they're made aware of it, they will do a pretty good job of keeping the proper distance. And like you say, one family at a time, so we could have a person that goes out and takes the orders, have people standing in line, so when they come up, by the time they pay, their order's ready to go. And as it is now, you kind of, when you get up to the table, you order, and then, you know, we're not as fast as McDonald's, but we're certainly faster than Burger King. You know, the food is prepared, the person waits 2 or 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So if we can do it, so kind of like a drive-through window where we actually take the order and we're 10 parties ahead, then, you know, you write down the order, you give it to the person preparing the orders. They come in, their order's on a tray, all ready to go. They don't have to, you know, hang out in front of the food line or wait with other people crossing their path. So it would take an effort, but it could be done. Same with the ice cream. You know, you keep the families together and, you know, you make an effort to say, okay, this group next,
Space them out.
this group next, yeah.
Yeah.
We could set it up where instead of one station serving the ice cream, kind of like you said, you know, you could have certain flavors in certain areas, spread it out. So if
It was great that we had so many flavors,
Yeah.
but I think it just created a lot of confusion really,
Yeah.
because
yeah,
people were so undecisive on what flavor they wanted, cause we give them 6 or 7 flavors. I think simplify that maybe a little bit,
Yeah,
3
keep
flavors, and
Keep it
that's what we have.
simple and, you know, if you had 4 flavors and 4 people serving, they,
Right.
like you say, they could just go and get that flavor. If they wanted more than one, well, they'd eat this one first and go back for the other one second.
So I guess, as a board, I don't think we are telling you no, but we're telling you, you know, think about it, the later date we're thinking might work better, but it may work different.
And
Um,
that's the kind of
we're not-
input we wanted to get. you
We're
know?
not so authoritative, we're gonna mandate a date.
Sure.
We're gonna work together to come with a date.
And, what was your board's discussion as far as not having it at all?
Well, we'd hate to see that happen simply because people are itching to get out. And we'd rather have a much smaller, safe event than nothing at all, which is why we kinda came to that conclusion of let's try to just keep it local townspeople. But if the situation at the last minute says that, you know, something's happened and the environment is just not safe to hold the event, I mean, if we have to, we cancel the day before.
Okay,
We're kinda taking the stance, so let's plan it, and then if the proverbial crap hits the fan at the last minute, you just say it's done, I'm sorry.
Like arts.
can blame it on us, a lot of people do that anyways.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the vendors, I like the idea of making it very local.
Yeah,
That way we can space out well, make it a true community event, and the thing is, the vendors are secondary to me. If we don't have them, we don't have them. We're gonna have a cookout for you.
Yeah, and. by
I would
vendors-
rather always keep it a community event myself, I didn't realize we advertised
Well, we,
Concord and Manchester.
by vendors, we also mean most of like the crafts people, the entertainment for the kids, where
Oh, yeah.
it's on tools and
Absolutely.
stuff. Yeah, I mean.
And a lot of people are actually drawn by the different,
But as I-
different type of vendors, whether it's jewelry, whether it's books, whether it's
I mean,
whatever.
as I recall, we had political vendors before. We don't need those political vendors here for
Ain't
our
no sneaking political vendors.
Are we gonna do,
How about musicians?
Yeah, musicians, we'll have something. We may end up with, we can't get the right bands, we're
Parade.
talking a professional DJ, you know, just play.
parade in at 10 or whatever you guys normally have?
So far, yes.
Okay. That, I think, is a fairly safe thing, cause I think you're gonna have one tomorrow actually too.
Yeah.
Small parade for the school kids that have graduated.
Yeah.
So,
I think we're in consensus, everyone, I mean, we're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah, we're all trying to figure out the best way to handle it.
right,
So, Dave, we just gotta wait for your recommendation from your committee again.
Well, we consult you less to get you to vote on something, but
keep us
because
in the loop.
you are part of the town and having experience in your roles we don't
Well,
ordinarily have.
I'd call
We
us-
wanted your input.
Key and essential ice cream vendors.
Yes,
That's right.
yeah, totally.
If it works out good, we're gonna take credit for it, if it doesn't work out good, we
We already know that.
All right.
Okay, so I guess we're all set with that. Mark and I, just before he leaves, we were out searching for a fire, what was that, Tuesday night?
Yeah.
Monday.
Just so you guys know, for the town's reference, there was a forest fire that looked like it was started by lightning in a couple of trees. And it was in the middle section between Twist Hill Road, Montalona, and Purgatory Road. In the middle of one of the largest swamps out there, that was inaccessible from any trail that we could possibly find. And after spending 4 or 5 hours until the dark, out there trying to find it on Tuesday night, which we had it from a drone, but couldn't quite reach it. I think on Wednesday night,
Actually, it was Monday and Tuesday, must have been.
Monday and Tuesday, so on Tuesday night, we accessed it, or they accessed it through, a power line right of way that I was cutting hay on, and, we were actually able to take a boat across the swamp and then get to it a little bit closer, and still took, what, 4, 5, 6 hours,
I'm
Mark?
not sure, I was working.
It was a long period of time.
Tuesday.
Burnt about 1/4 of an acre, but it burnt very deep, and, it looked like 2 trees were hit and 3 trees were burning. But they had been smoldering for a week to a week and a half out there.
Was that behind Linda's or?
Behind Linda's and behind Vandy Bogart's and right in the middle there. Big swamp out there that
Yeah,
was,
yeah, I've been out there, yeah.
it was kind of on the edge of one of the small, like, almost like an island on there. And if it wasn't in that swamp, it probably would have been a bad fire, but. Now with the rain that we got last night and today, I think it should be pretty well squared away, but.
Still need more rain though.
I got to see, and Mark got to see the Kawasaki mule that they have, bringing people out there.
Oh, yeah, right.
Equipment,
Yeah.
and I gotta tell you, there's no way we could've gotten anybody out there without that piece
Yeah, I
of
was thinking about that when you were talking about it, yeah.
So, it worked very well, and we'll be in support of that if they ever need another one someday, because was a handy tool.
Yeah. It's been a lifesaver in that situation,
Yeah.
both forestry and for OHRV rescues, and it's become a very handy piece of equipment.
So, big thank you to all the volunteers that were out there for the couple of days, there was a lot of people out there, and, upwards of 20 people, I think, looking for the fire and finding it and getting it put out, so. All right, thank you guys, thanks for coming in.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay. Leo, I'm gonna go back to public comment quickly, cause we only have a non-public for a little bit later,
Show you all of them.
and so,
We've got one more comment from Woody.
oh, okay, come in, Woody, I didn't see you back there.
Social distancing.
Yeah.
Chase them out.
You probably haven't heard yet, but we did have a very minor motor vehicle accident at the transfer.
No, I hadn't heard.
No, with the new truck.
No, it wasn't us, it was between two residents. I did call PD, they came down, because it happened on town property, they did as far as I know, they did a report on it, I let them do their job. That's kind of the big thing I want to let you know, cause I forgot to tell you that before.
Injuries?
No injuries, it's
Just
a
a
very, very minor accident, but still happened on town property, so
Yeah.
wanna make sure you guys are.
I didn't get a chance to comment earlier, but I think that, you know, like we talked about earlier, some of these things we're putting in place may stay in place, like that self-recycling. I see no reason that can't continue in place, you know, and you might put them behind the doors, the garage doors you have at a later point, but
Right,
the way you're doing it now seems to work fine, but, you know, as you bring cardboard and paper and plastic, you might wanna use them garage doors.
we're gonna have to move some
Yep.
stuff around.
So do whatever you need to do.
Yeah, we're gonna move things around and adjust some stuff so that we can accommodate the front of the building, because once we start taking plastic, we're gonna have to use that cardboard window.
But I think that is just another step that, at least until this COVID-19 thing has a vaccination, that it's a good step to keep people doing their own recycling.
But the thing is,
anyway.
a lot of towns do insist upon that.
Right.
It's good, it's a training phase.
And, you know, like I've talked to Mike a little bit about it, I talked to you, I haven't seen you to talk to you about it, but, is that, the other side of the coin to this, is that if people are doing it on their own, dumping it in the bins, it kinda takes a little stress off the staff.
There you go.
You know, we're not rushing to try and get everything sorted and keep all the windows open. If we got bins there and you're dumping in the bins, they can still be bailing.
Yeah.
We just move the bin out of the way, put another one in, load the
Yeah.
bin out. I think, in the scheme of things, it might actually be faster for people.
Sure.
It's gonna take a little bit to get used to, it's gonna be a big growing pain, just
Yeah.
like everything is, but once they get the feel of it, it's gonna be like second nature to them.
You know, Woody, if people sorted their things out ahead of time, sometimes all it takes is 3 different buckets or whatever,
Yep.
whatever, you
Yeah.
know, but it's faster to get rid of. And I talked about this a while ago, remember I asked about
Yep.
putting something out there? I think it takes the stress off all your guys a little bit, you know, especially when there's a whole bunch
Stack
of
a
people
counter
coming
and
in.
it's stacked up to here.
We
'Cause
might make
it's-
that the Robert Martel Memorial.
Well, no, but,
nice.
you know, if we get beyond this COVID thing, then it doesn't make a difference if there's 3 people dumping
Right.
stuff out, you know?
And
And
I, you know, we try to stress it, that I know Lean has on the website and I have on the Facebook. We really, the other thing is that we don't really have a lot of ways to advertise. You know, you have the internet, you know, we get the same story, well, I don't have internet, well, I don't know what to tell you, I don't know, there's no other answer, I mean, we can only put it in certain places, we put stuff in the newspaper, well, I don't get the newspaper, everybody, there's always an excuse for something, but we just advertise it the best we can and do the best we
And
can.
give the benefit of the doubt to the
Right.
person who doesn't know it, and you've done that.
Right, you know,
Yeah.
hey,
Who picks up our refrigerators and all that stuff?
who picks it up?
Yeah, who picks it up once those are all done?
We hire a company to come in and pump them, and then they go right in the scrap metal dumpster.
Oh, they do.
That's kind of the typical practice now.
We may wanna get him lined up for when you're thinking about bringing that stuff, because I know people
Right.
that have them in their yards, and
Good point.
so we're gonna get a big wave of stoves and fridges and microwaves and,
That's, that's not, they're real easy to deal with.
okay.
Yeah, usually just a phone call and they're here within a couple days. But I'll just give her a heads up that is what we're thinking and.
Do they actually recover it or just let it go into the atmosphere?
No, there's actually, I didn't realize there's actually several different types of Freon.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize, I mean, I knew a couple, but I didn't know there's 4 or 5, some have value, some don't.
that's what I was gonna say, some of them they can sell, you know?
Yeah, and some of it costs them,
Yeah.
I didn't know that, so, yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
Leo, you have anything else for public comment?
Just that a few of us are going to see the Hearst House tomorrow with the trustees. Some repairs need to be done, door latches are broken, you know, things like that. Pressure wash, the the mildew and all that off of there, so tomorrow morning, I'm surprised Don didn't mention it.
Okay,
Got a lot on his plate.
all right, and Bob will bring it back to the board. How about you?
I don't have anything this evening. I did get a number though from Leo, for the concrete person, and
Okay,
also I wanna reach out to them
okay,
and see what happens, you know.
I just wanna continue to give kudos to the transfer station, I wanna recognize them again, they've been doing a good job. Again, tempers are running high, and they're just trying to, I mean, we've had, they've called the police a few times, because people just going ballistic. But overall, the operation's been very smooth, and I wanna say publicly thank you to, the management and the staff at the transfer station.
The last couple of weeks have kinda calmed down a little bit.
did you hear my stuff about the fire?
Yes.
In the corner, I didn't see you back there, I thought you might have left.
Mike, why are you going there and agitating them?
Well, the thing is, when I went there, one of the police officers threatened me with the taser. He said if I don't get back in my car, he was gonna tase me. I think he was using me as a test.
His wife.
Lean, before I forget, do you have a couple things for us? Nothing. I think I've spoken about everything we had on the agenda. Did I forget to speak about anything, Lean? Okay. I think that's it, and we're gonna take a little recess and get into non-public here.
I'd like to make a motion now then.
Okay, go ahead, Mike.
I'd like to make a motion, we go into non-public per